interesting question. Actually, life is pretty easy for utility investors because they don't need to worry about the economy. Utility companies typically grow by about 5% per year, regardless of whether we are in an economic upturn or downturn. So then becomes a question of what are the alternatives. When the market is shooting for the stars, 5% growth might seem a little bit thin. But in an environment of uncertainty and market corrections, all of a sudden 5% reliable, predictable growth is very attractive. And so I think that in the current environment where a lot of people are nervous and where there's a lot of volatility in the stock market, a fund like Gloin is a very, very interesting proposition. Well, it's something that we have thought about in detail and that we have actually calculated on our portfolio quite in detail. And the answer is that unless you see an enormous spike in inflation, you don't need to worry too much about it. Because a lot of these businesses have compensating mechanisms. And if interest rates were to go slightly higher, these companies can just improve their returns so that they shouldn't be impacted by smaller hikes in interest rates. Market liberalization is always a complicated issue because it always brings new players into the market, and it means that there's a bit of nervousness and shifting around. However, if you look at markets that have liberalized in the past, like the UK for example, the only conclusion is that it doesn't change a lot. Prices come down a little bit because competition rises, but the existing players just become stronger. They become more profitable, they improve their efficiencies a little bit, which means that consumers get slightly lower prices, but the profitability of the industry stays exactly the same. It's creating problems for investors because it means that they cannot put their money into a savings account or into government bonds because they're actually being punished if they give their money to the banks. So they're looking for stable, defensive assets that give them some form of income. Real estate could be one example, but real estate is expensive in some areas and is very illiquid type of investment. So infrastructure investments like utilities or Gloin are a very, very good alternative. It's very liquid, it's not cyclical, and in today's environment it's giving you very attractive yields. So I would like to personally thank, first of all, our Gloin holders for their trust and confidence that they've put in us. And we will do whatever it takes to make sure that we won't disappoint that trust. I personally think that utility stocks are very attractive opportunities today. And that by holding a diversified portfolio of international utility stocks, you can have a low risk type of investment that will give you very attractive returns.